Hi, I am Laureen Quick, and I am the facilitator for the Learn Idaho Encore Book Club. Today, I would like to introduce to you one of Fredrik Backman's most touching stories. My grandmother asked me to tell you she's sorry. At first glance, this book appears to be more the story of a 7-year-old girl named Elsa and her very eccentric grandmother. But don't let that fool you. This is really a novel about love, forgiveness, and the legacy that we leave behind. When Elsa's grandmother dies, she leaves her granddaughter a very unusual assignment. She asks her to deliver a series of letters to the people in their apartment building. As Elsa begins to carry out this mission, she uncovers stories that she was never aware of about the people in her building, stories of heartbreak, of courage, sacrifice, regret, and kindness. As she talks to the different people in her building and delivers those letters, she also discovers that the fairy tales that her grandmother has been telling her for the last few years of her life were not simply make-up stories created for a child. Rather, each kingdom, each creature, each hero, each villain reflected someone in their own apartment building. And as such, the stories became a way of helping Elsa to see beyond her first impressions and to understand the fears, the wounds, the worries, the strengths, and even the hopes that shape people around her. What once seemed like a fantasy slowly became a lens through which Elsa can learn and experience compassion for others. She realizes that people are rarely defined by the role that they appear to play, and that behind every difficult neighbor, every lonely soul, or a misunderstood friend, there is a story to understand. And perhaps that was her grandmother's greatest legacy, not the treasure hunt or the letters, but that she helped Elsa begin to truly see people, to look deeper beyond the surface. One of the reasons I think this novel resonates so deeply with readers is that it asks a question many of us we think about, but we particularly think about it as we grow older, and that is, what will people remember about me? Legacy isn't about accomplishments or possessions. It is really about the lives that we have touched, the compassion that we have shown, the forgiveness that we have offered others, and the stories that we have passed on. As we get older, we also begin to understand another profound truth, and that is that everyone has a story. The neighbor who seems difficult, the friend who has become withdrawn, the family member who we struggle to understand, they all carry stories deep inside them, sometimes deep burdens and untold experiences. Backman, in writing this book, gently invites us to look beneath the surface with greater curiosity, with more empathy, and I also believe with grace. This book is also a reminder that people we love continue to shape us long after they are gone. Their words, their traditions, their humor, and the way that they taught us to see the world become a part of who we are. Although the book does deal with grief, it is never heavy. It's filled with humor and warmth, imagination, and there are moments that will make you laugh, just as often as there are moments that will make you pause and reflect. As you read this book, I think you'll begin to recognize Bachman is a terrific writer. He has an ability to create characters that are deeply flawed, but at the same time deeply lovable. And so, if this is your first Bachman book, you are in for a wonderful introduction. If you have been reading his books, you will, I think, love this one just as much as all his others. And I think finally, I want to just share that I think you may find yourself thinking about legacy as you read this book. The legacy others have left in your life for you, but also the legacy that you are creating every day as you live out your life and what you will gift to others as you leave this earth. And as part of that, I think the most important message in this novel really is that our lives continue long after we're gone. Not because people remember everything that we did, but because they remember how we made them feel. I hope you'll pick up a copy and read My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry. It is a story that will make you laugh, touch your heart, and perhaps leave you seeing yourself and other people around you with a deeper understanding.